Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to talk about the 9 brands I'm hoping to try in 2019. I did this last year as well. Last year I had 8 brands in 2018. This year I thought I would make it 9. I actually had more than 9, but I narrowed it down because I was like, okay, realistically, how many of these brands am I actually going to be able to try? But this video was inspired by Samantha March. She, I believe, was the original creator of this type of video, and I just think the idea is so cool. I usually have a list in my head of like brands that are kind of on my radar. And so the list has definitely changed a lot since last year. Last year I think I tried 5 out of the 8 brands, so maybe this year we'll aim for 6 out of 9, or hopefully I can even try all of them, but it all kind of depends on my budget and which, what I end up actually needing to buy. So it's definitely kind of a mix of very mainstream brands and more indie brands. It's probably like half and half, but there's a lot of mainstream brands that are like really popular that I have yet to try. One of those is Becca. I have still not tried anything from Becca. So I was really interested in trying their backlight primer or backlight priming filter. That was on my wish list for a while, but after reading some of your comments on a couple of my recent videos, it seems like you guys recommend the First Light priming filter even more. So I don't know, either the backlight or the First Light. You guys will have to let me know which one you like better if you've tried both, but I think I'm actually leaning towards the First Light right now. Definitely into kind of like glowy types of primers these days, and so that would be probably number 1 on my list to try from Becca. I'd also like to try maybe a highlight from them, just because I know they're known for their highlights, and so it would be nice to try that just to kind of understand what all the hype is about. The next brand I want to try in 2019 is definitely more of an indie brand, and this is a brand that I didn't even realize was cruelty-free until recently, and it's STROBE Cosmetics. They actually have single shadows, like magnetic shadows, for $6.50, which is a pretty decent price compared to a lot. It's still not as cheap as ColourPop, but I would really be interested in trying some of their single shadows. It doesn't look like they have a lot of options. It looks like they have maybe like 10 different colors. They also have some really nice looking palettes that I'd be interested in. Overall, I don't really know much about this brand, but it just recently came to my attention that they are cruelty-free. So you'll have to let me know if you have any suggestions from this brand. The next brand I need to try in 2019 is Hourglass. It's kind of like Becca. I feel like Becca and Hourglass are like in the same category in my head. Like, I get the two brands confused a lot for some reason. I think probably because they're both known for like face products a lot. But I would really like to try an Hourglass blush. I've had their blush in the shade Mood Exposure for a really long time. I would love to get that blush. I think I would probably go for a mini size because, I mean, how often do I go through a whole blush? It takes me forever to even use up a mini blush. So I would definitely get the mini. It's only $24. I mean, it's still expensive, but it's cheaper than their full size. So I would love to try that. I also would like to just try some of their ambient lighting powders just because I don't know, I'm curious about those. They've been popular and they've been around for a long time, but Hourglass is super expensive, so I would probably have to wait for like a sale or something, but I feel like it's about time that I tried Hourglass. Okay, the next brand I want to try is, I feel like this is on a lot of people's lists this year, but Colored Rain. They are more of an indie brand, but I feel like they're one of the more well-known indie brands. I just realized their singles are only $7, so that's reasonable. I like to stay definitely under $10 for singles, but ideally even under $5 is also ideal, but they have some gorgeous looking shades, and I've heard such good things about their formula and their eyeshadows, so I would love to try maybe a couple of single shadows from Colored Rain. They also have some beautiful palettes. I don't know, their Queen of Hearts palette is really popular. Right now, looking at their palettes, none of them really call out to me as something that I would need, but we'll see. Maybe they'll release some new palettes in 2018 that will catch my fancy. But I definitely do want to try Colored Rain. I like what the brand stands for, at least what I know about it so far, and I just heard such good things, so I would really like to try. And their single shadows are actually cheaper than I thought they would be. I've also seen them at Target. I guess they're selling at Target now, which is really cool, but it was definitely a limited selection at Target. Okay, the next brand I want to try, I don't know if this brand is really considered an indie brand because it is very popular now, but I feel like it is. Maybe not. I don't know. It's Dose of Colors. I want to try Dose of Colors. I want to try their lip products for sure, especially their lip glosses, because I've heard, well, Jessica Braun, who's like my favorite person on the planet, she really likes their lip gloss specifically in the shade Messy Bun, and that just sounds so perfect. It looks beautiful, and so I really want to try that specific lip gloss. I'd also love to try maybe a couple more colors. Also, their eyeshadow palettes are really pretty. I'm not sure which one I would want, or if I would even want any of their eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like they do release a lot of like 5-pan palettes, which is really nice because I think smaller palettes are definitely getting a lot more popular these days, and I personally would like to kind of stick to smaller palettes for the most part. So their 5-pan palettes look really nice. I like that they're so curated. Their Marvelous Mauves palette looks really pretty, but I don't know if I need it. I probably already have all those colors, so maybe not. But yeah, we'll have to see if any of their palettes this year, if they release any new ones, maybe I'll pick one up. Okay, the next brand I want to try, this is another really obvious one that I really should have tried by now, but it's Smashbox. I have yet to try Smashbox. I also get Smashbox and Stila mixed up, probably just because they both start with an S and they're both high-end, and they're like both sold at Ulta, so it's like, I don't know. But I don't know exactly what I would want to try. Actually, I do. I know I want to try the Smashbox Studio Skin Foundation. Is that what it's called? I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I'm currently trying to pan the Urban Decay Naked Skin, and I feel like if I want to get a new high-end foundation once that one's gone, the Smashbox Studio Skin is probably the one I would go for. I think it's supposed to be full coverage. I feel like a lot of full coverage foundations get pretty negative reviews for the most part, just because it's hard to please a lot of people with like a full coverage foundation. But I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about the Smashbox Studio Skin. Okay, well now that I'm looking at the Studio Skin foundation, I'm not sure if it's actually full coverage. I feel like I might have just made that up in my head. But it sounds really nice. This is 15-hour wear hydrating, and it's kind of rare that you see like hydrating and long wearing in the same description of a product. So it sounds really nice. I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's $36, which is a little bit cheaper than like an Urban Decay foundation. So yeah, I would really like to try that one. If there's any other products from Smashbox that you recommend I try or that you think are like must-haves, definitely let me know. And the same goes for all of these brands. The next brand is another really obvious one, but it's also really expensive, so there's like a good reason why I haven't tried it, and it's because it's so expensive. But it's Charlotte Tilbury. I'd really like to get maybe some of their complexion products. The Hollywood Flawless Filter is on my list. That I actually tried it when I did my makeup with J. Homie. I tried hers and it was really nice, and I don't know, I'm kind of into products like that nowadays. So the Flawless Filter, I actually have a gift card to Sephora, and I think I might just get that because I've been thinking about it for a while. But then again, there's a lot of these other brands are also at Sephora, so who knows what I'll decide. But the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, also their powder sounds really nice, but I don't know if I want to try it, because if I end up liking it, then that would just be bad. Because I go through powder somewhat quickly, like face powder, and I would not want to have like a $40 powder or however much it is that I would fall in love with and then have to repurchase, because I can't do that. I can't be spending that much money on a face powder. So I'll probably have to skip that, but it sounds really nice. And their foundations also sound nice, but I don't know, I gotta be careful with Charlotte Tilbury. Like, I can't go and like try a bunch of things and then fall in love with all of them, because I just can't afford that kind of thing. But I do at least want to treat myself to like one really nice Charlotte Tilbury product this year. Okay, the last two brands that I want to try are both more indie brands, kind of lesser known brands, and I feel like they're lesser known even for indie brands, because a lot of indie brands have been getting a lot of attention on YouTube lately, but these two I feel like I don't hear very many people talk about. One of them is Au Naturale. Tashina from Logical Harmony and Rianne both talk about Au Naturale a lot. It sounds like they really like the foundation stick from Au Naturale, and I have never tried a foundation stick. I've always been kind of afraid, but I feel like, I know Tashina has like more dry skin, and Rianne I think has like oily combo skin, and they both like it, and I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, so I feel like it might be a safe bet for a stick foundation. It sounds promising, so I would like to try that. I feel like I don't know much of what Au Naturale offers actually. So they also have a lot of cream face products, like cream blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and as you guys know, I'm trying to explore more like cream products this year, so I would definitely be interested in trying some of those things from them. Okay, they're expensive though. Whoa. Their cream, this like cream, I guess it's a cream blush, is $35. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be like really choosy about what I get. They've also got a powder highlighter for $25. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to be very picky here. They're supposed to be like clean ingredients, green, natural, all of that stuff, hence the name Au Naturale. But yeah, that's one brand I would like to try. I just want to try more like lesser known brands, like not just indie brands, but brands that don't actually like ever get talked about, because those are the brands I'm always curious about. But if they're expensive, then that's a little bit more difficult for me to try. And then the last brand I want to try is another one that has been recommended a lot by Tashina from Logical Harmony as well, and that is Root, or Root Pretty. I don't know if they go by Root or Root Pretty, but they have a lot of like magnetic single pan eyeshadows as well as like blushes and highlights and things like that. So their single shadows though, their magnetic singles, are $12. I don't know if I can justify that, honestly. And the shades are all really neutral. And I don't really need a lot of neutral shadows right now. So maybe, okay, well they do have some colors, but it definitely seems like the vast majority of these are very neutral colors. So maybe maybe I'll stay away from their pressed shadows. I'm sure they're lovely, but I don't think I can, no. I could buy a whole drugstore palette for $12. So yeah, I don't think I want that. But they do have some really nice looking like face products. Okay, this is awesome. They have some like powder highlighters. I think they're actually loose powders. So I don't know if I'd actually buy these because they're loose and I don't know how I feel about that. But one of them is the Sarah Illuminator and one of them is the Rose Illuminator, and that's literally my first and middle name. So I feel like I need those. I don't need them, but that's kind of cool. It would be cool to have at least the Sarah one because it could be named after me. I'll have to like go dig into some of Tashina's old videos to see like what products she recommends from Root. But I know she recommends them a lot, so we'll see. I'm curious. So those are the 9 brands that I would like to make an effort to try in 2019. I don't know if I'll get around to trying all of these because I can't be spending money left and right like every month. But these are definitely all brands that are on my radar. A lot of the purpose of this video is to get recommendations from you. So if you have any products from these brands that you think I should try, definitely let me know. If there's anything you think I should stay away from, also please let me know because a lot of these brands are not cheap. Yeah, definitely let me know your suggestions and let me know which brands you are hoping to try this year, and I will talk to you guys next time.